Hey guys, we're here at the Integrity Roofing and Painting office, and today we're going to show you how to replace a window screen. It's super simple. Anybody can do it. Let's go over what you're going to need first. Number one, you need a frame that's in good working condition. So if the window screen is not cracked or bent anywhere, you should be able to reuse the frame. Okay. Second, you're going to need your window screen materials. So these rolls come in 14 inches by 20 feet. Not very expensive. This is going to take care of a bunch of window screens for you. And second, you need this tool. So this is going to be for putting that spline, that rubber spline, back in the window screen. So let's come up a little closer and take a look here. Basically, you've got your frame here, and you've got your screen, and it's attached with this little rubber seal. It's called a spline. Okay. So this is in here. We're going to have to take this spline out, and usually we can reuse it as long as it's not cracked. Okay. So let's pop this screen out. All right, my spline's just coming out naturally here, so I'm going to start pulling this out. And I'm going to reuse this spline, so I'm going to be real careful. Okay, so we got the old screen off. I've got my razor blade here that I'm going to use to trim the screen. So let's come in a little closer and just take a look at how we put the spline in here. So I was pretty careful taking this off, so I'm going to be able to reuse it. And we're going to start in this furthest corner here. And what you want to do is just make sure that the screen is pulled nice and tight. You can pretty much do it on your own and still get it done well, but the first few times you do this, you might need somebody to help. And I'm going to start this right in the corner, okay? As soon as I have this in here, I'm going to grab my little tool here, and I'm going to start pushing this back into the seam, okay? This first one is what you're going to pull all the rest of them tight against, so this one isn't as important to make sure it's super tight when you're installing it. Okay, get that into the corner, make sure that's in there tight. All right, now let's bring it around. Okay, now that we're getting into the last two corners, you're really going to need to make sure that this is nice and tight here. Okay, so we got the screen all the way in there. It's nice and tight. Now we're just going to trim this. So you just use a razor blade. I'm going to do it just by hand like this because it's a little bit easier. And what you want to do is you don't actually want to put this up against the frame to cut it. You want to almost get in that groove a little bit. Okay, so let's just start it here. All right, so we've got the screen in here. Now we're ready to trim everything to be nice and neat. So let's get down here and take a close look at this. You want to make sure that this rubber spline is in there nice and tight. Otherwise, if you just try to trim this screen just along the frame, you're going to have pieces of the screen coming up and it's going to look really bad. So you can see down here in the corner that this really needs to be trimmed a little bit more, and you need to be able to get inside that frame, okay, just right above where that spleen is to make sure it's nice and clean. So let's start on a new side here. Just go up into the corner, make sure you start to get that cut, and just keep that blade at an angle and down as tight to that spleen as you can, all right? And just start going down. Okay, so we got the screen finished. It was very simple. Let's go over the parts again. You basically want to make sure your frame's in good condition so it can be reused, all right? Second, you want to be really careful with that spleen, okay, to make sure that you're not tearing it, and to make sure that you can reuse it. All right, that's going to save you time and it's going to save you money. Third, you want to make sure that that screen is really nice and tight when you're putting that spleen in there. Okay. Now let's take a closer look here on the edges. You can see that this screen is cut right up against that spleen. Okay. So it's really clean. Here on the corners, maybe we could clean up a little bit, but this is looking really nice. Your homeowner's going to be really pleased. So that's how you replace a window screen. Thanks for watching, guys.